Hey guys, welcome back for another week. You guys look you look how you look.
Tired,
Yeah, we were just waiting
excited.
around for a half hour to start this thing, so
It's not true. It's 5 minutes after the agreed upon start time. And if you guys could understand what you're reading, I wouldn't have had to spend time doing that.
yeah, we'll see once we get to the game how straightforward this is.
Listen, it is not that complex.
Mhm.
Although I will say it should be fun. And I get to
Can't
compete
wait.
against you. What?
Said can't wait.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
said
we're
wait.
just excited.
I'm like,
No, I said can't wait. My
I was
luck has
like,
been awesome lately when it comes to NASCAR, so I'm sure I'll do another.
and your driver won this week. You didn't pick him, but he
Oh,
won this
yeah,
week.
yeah. Thanks for ruining that for me.
You're welcome.
I
I
wanted to
appreciate it.
jump for joy and cry at the same time, but
Marilee asked me yesterday, she's like, so this is when Bowman was running in the top 10. She goes,
for like
so do you want
I must have
Bowman
blinked
to
my eyes
win
during that time.
and give
It's
Donnie to
right.
and give Donnie the point? I said, no. I said, if Bowman can win some other week, I'm taking my 2 points. Thank you.
Breaking news, Bowman won't win at all.
Ooh, I don't agree with that. But anyway,
Bro, I've
I
lost
know
2 times this year, and it's when I picked Bowman.
That
Fool
is
me
true.
once, shame on me. Fool me twice, what was I thinking? Man.
maybe there's just another situation of Joey Logano luck for you. You just jinx
No,
everybody.
Joey's talented.
Gotcha. All right, Corey,
Yeah.
why don't you take us into the racing? Speaking of Joey Logano.
That's all the general discussion we're gonna go with tonight.
You know what? I wanna
Yeah.
throw this out. Like, we
Yeah.
got a general discussion. This wasn't even mentioned in the podcast. Dale Jr.'s done. We
Yeah.
saw him last
Yeah.
NBC.
That is so sad.
You know what I mean? It is.
How do you
Like, we
drop
will
that
never
ball?
see another. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Like,
So
slightly devastated. I only got to watch him for, like, 1 season.
I feel like,
What?
he's coming back next year. He's got a
I
contract in
know,
place.
but it's not I don't know, like,
It's not the same.
it's not.
Like, we're always excited to get through Fox. Like, if we can
Mm.
just get through Fox, then we at least get Junior. And
Don't
now we
take
don't
this
even have
wrong.
that.
Don't take this wrong.
So
I feel like I'm still going to be excited to get rid of Fox.
Actually,
oh, for
I've
sure.
enjoyed it so far, like, I don't know.
Actually, I
Man,
do like
I'm not a
Kevin.
fan of Harvick.
Really? I
Really.
think he's been doing an awesome job.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
it's
I'm not a
Clint that I'm
fan,
not a
man.
fan of.
And he's been
No.
giving it to Clint, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and it's like, no, like, it's funny at times, but, like, he's just trying to make Clint look like an idiot the whole time,
Yeah, but
and it's
Clint's
like,
kinda
Clint's
trying to
got
do
that
that too,
redneck
like,
good
I don't
old boy
know.
thing going,
No, I
like
think it's
No.
actually the opposite. I
I
think
agree, I
he'll
see it
look
the
like an
opposite.
idiot, and Kevin's like, we can't let this broadcast look like that.
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know, but
I just think he's
so
holding the broadcast to a higher standard. I'm okay with Kevin. I'm okay with Clint too. But I mean, it's kind of like when Gordon and Dale Waltrip were in, or Daryl Waltrip were in the booth together that first year too. Things were kind of tense and weird and awkward. And I mean, we're only 3 races into the season. We should give it a little more time, I suppose.
it's one last thing on Fox. Did you see Carson Hocevar's little cartoon guy?
You
Terrifying.
mentioned it, but I
he's
Oh,
I didn't
man.
want to rewind to watch it.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
he's
Well,
kinda
that's okay.
terrifying in real life too, but
It's
Yeah,
okay.
but
Yesterday, Mike Joyce said, while in Las Vegas, I will add, let's get ready to restart here in
in
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, that one was rough, but
I had a grandmother with
Yeah.
Alzheimer's once that was similar. I don't
Alright,
have
Do you
that
know
grandmother
Ryan
anymore.
Blaney's got a foundation with Alzheimer's?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I learned that in Daytona. So
Oh, cool.
it's my grandmother too. Same thing. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Corey, let's do this again. Do you want to take
Alright,
us into the racing? I mean,
speaking of
we have
last
such a
week
good segue.
speaking of last week, we failed to discuss Joey Logano getting a penalty for his webbed gloves. I don't know if he's trying to be Spider-Man or something like that, but anyways, he did get a fine of $10,000 and he had to do a pass-through at Las Vegas to start the race. So how, like, was the penalty fair? And, like, how big of an advantage were the gloves gonna really be?
He did the
style point 0 advantage.
yeah,
Guy looks like a flying squirrel.
it does. It was quite a glove. I will say, for just a quick correction, it was at Atlanta that he had to do the pass through. It was before the race started.
Oh, right. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah, I don't. From what they say, they didn't intend to use it in the race, which makes sense. You're not going to want to be bumper to bumper with other people and have that hand up like that. But I think the penalty's fair, especially since like the drive-through or the pass-through didn't even affect him because of the pile up there on the front stretch. Like he came out of there back on the lead lap and worked his way back up through the field, right? So, you can't really say that was too strict because it didn't have any effect. And $10,000, I feel like that's fair
Pocket
for what they
change.
did. Well, yeah, it's pocket change for them, but it's also like we're taking it serious.
Not as serious as if it was Stuart Haas that did it.
Well,
But
to be fair, Stuart Haas tampers with the car.
What was their
Yeah.
fine? Oh, it was driver
Which
points
time?
and yeah.
35 driver points, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For roof rails. Like, I will say one thing about Stuart Haas, when they get a penalty, I'm always like, I don't think I've heard of that one before. Like, they were the first ones to do the window braces. They were the first ones to do roof rails. Like, I'm like, what are you guys doing over there?
What do they say? If you're not cheating, you're not trying or something.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's fair, but I don't even see where there's any benefit. Like, who cheats to run 29th?
Fair enough. All right, so I think we've talked about Atlanta enough. So has everybody else.
Yeah.
But so, my man Kyle Larson, we already discussed, wins in Las Vegas. No surprise, he's the greatest. So, congrats to what, Donnie?
Oh, just agree to disagree, I guess.
Okay. So he's continuing the Hendrick Motorsports stranglehold as they've now swept all the stages and the race win in the last 4 races at Las Vegas. Other than Kyle, William Byron showed some flashes of speed, but both Bowman and Elliott stalled out in the low teens for most of the day. Is this a tale of 2 teams in one building, or is it a driver issue?
Driver issue.
I agree.
I think so.
Yeah. You got
I agree.
Chase Elliott, who just doesn't seem like himself since
He
the
does not
injury.
seem like he wants to race at all, in my opinion. Like,
Right? Like he just
there's
and
like no
then you have
passion or
Alex
nothing.
Bowman.
It's like
Yeah.
shows up for his
Like,
job
that's
every
it.
day.
Chase Elliott lacks passion, Bowman lacks talent, and the other two have just been lights out. So I say it's driver issue for sure. Evan, what do you think?
I agree that it's driver issue. I don't believe
Evan
it's a lack-
agrees with me. Next question, Corey.
I don't believe it's a lack of talent. What it is I think it's a lack of confidence and a lack of team chemistry and things like that with still a relatively new crew chief for Bowman as far as being at top speed and all that. So I think that's what's going on there. I think you're kind of on the money with Chase, though. It's weird. Honestly, it's like watching like 2018, 19, and 20 Jimmy Johnson all over again. Like, he's got the skill to do it. It's just there's something not right.
Donnie does not agree
I'm
there.
not. No, hang on. I'm
Yeah.
not comparing the talent levels. I'm simply saying like Johnson went from being unbelievably lights out, right, for 20 years, and then all of a sudden, whatever clicked in him, there was like nothing there. It was like a ghost of himself. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing with Chase right now. There's just something not right. I don't know if I don't remember a big wreck where like you kind of get the yips or whatever. I don't remember that happening with Chase, but that's kind of what it seems like happened. Like something changed somewhere and he's just not who he was. And maybe he'll get it back or maybe he won't, but either way, he'll still sell a pile of merch.
Yeah, right.
Do you think he could be upset with the
slippery
team? Like,
slope.
do you think he'd be thinking maybe they're putting all the resources between Byron and Larson, or is just?
They should be.
Oh yeah,
Like
100%.
honestly, like I mean, maybe
But like, could he
is,
be
but
maybe
he's so-
jealous or something, like of their success, and he's just done with them? I wonder, or like,
Maybe, but
Yeah.
I don't think
I
you
don't know
ever
where he
decide that
goes,
you're
though.
done with I don't think you ever decide you're done with Hendrick Motorsports though.
Yeah.
Like, where are you
And-
gonna go that's better as far as the
Yeah.
performance
Mhm.
and a historical level of competition, right? I don't know.
Like Joe Gibbs already has way more talented guys than their stable, so they're not going to take him. And I mean, Hendrick's got to be the next best, So what do you do?
Sometimes I think it must be hard for people to take us seriously, knowing that we have your opinions on him.
He does have a lot of pressure on him too, though. Like, a lot of
Donnie?
people. No, Chase Elliott.
Yeah, it's the reigning champion for sure. I do.
Yeah, his
But
picks every
luckily I'm
week.
Clark, and yeah.
No, I don't know. Something's got to change though.
Yep.
And I mean, we're 3 races in. Like we've done, basically 2 super speedways in Vegas.
True.
Like
Yeah.
But like
we have written.
the other 3 all tried to make moves. Yes, like Bowman was even top 10 for a while there. I mean, I know Chase got up there once, I think, but he just seemed like he was just content riding around the middle. I don't know. But
Yeah, I don't know. It was like he was scared to be aggressive.
yeah, exactly. But
And I think
And
this
maybe
car
he's
is
got
very
tracks
much
picked out. You know what
maybe
I
he's
mean?
what?
Like maybe they got races picked out this year where they're really going to go all in, and maybe it's just keep your equipment clean, get points where you can. I don't know.
Maybe, but
I
there's
don't
only so many road courses. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I
I
don't
feel
know.
dirty sitting here trying to defend the guy, so I'm ready to move on.
all right, so Noah Gragson has his first top 10 at his time with Stuart Haas, with his teammates finishing 20th, 21st, and 23rd. We discussed in our season preview about whether SHR was getting the better deal by signing him or if Noah was getting the better deal by having the opportunity to return to Cup. After 3 races, he has beaten his teammates in 2 out of the 3 races, having wrecked out in Atlanta. Where do we stand on the topic now?
I mean,
Evan?
I'll take this one because I was
Donnie?
big on being against him. You know what I mean? Like I said, Stuart Haas definitely. But yeah, like Gregson really has outshone his teammates. He's really gone above and beyond what I expected from him. You might expect a good showing at Daytona or at Atlanta, something where you can catch a draft, get lucky. But the fact that he did this on a mile and a half and was competitive and looked good and actually, gave Stuart Haas something to be happy about for a first time in a long time. Good on the kid, and it's starting to look like a bargain now for Stuart Haas.
The other thing
And
too.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I was hard on this kid last year too. And I mean, I've been nothing but I'm hard on him and I'm hard on Harrison Burton. And Gregson gave me a reason not to be. So props to him. I'll eat my words when I have to, and he's making me do that.
He'll probably be Wood Brothers' 100th winner. Or whatever it was you said last year. Get them their 100th
I think
win.
you have a good shot at being the 100th winner than Harrison Burton, but
Actually, I will say yesterday there was a point the Fords didn't show a lot of speed through a lot of the race. Like Keselowski struggled hard. The front row cars were way back a lot of the race. And there was one point where Gragson was the second highest running Ford. Blaney was up in the top 3 or 4 all day. He was the one exception to the rule. And Gragson was the second best running Ford in 12th. And it seemed like as the day went on, the Fords got a little bit quicker. But to come there and be the second best out of your manufacturer, not to mention the best on your team, super good. Happy for him. Hope that continues. It was really reminiscent when he got up to Ty Gibbs yesterday of that rivalry they had in the Xfinity series. And rivalries are something that we need a little bit more of in the Cup series right now. And that was a good one. I would love to see that one return. Not return to the Cup series, but those two drivers return to their rivalry and both being competitive equipment. And I think that could be a lot of fun.
for sure.
All right. So some teams have been discussed already as having seen notable improvement. Perhaps most notably would be Spire Motorsports, as both drivers had moments in the top 10, and Hocevar finishing 15th. Corey LaJoy, what a great name, would unfortunately spin out after getting loose and finish a disappointing 32nd. What team would you give as opposing view where they have taken a step back since last season? Evan? Anyone?
Yeah. For me, I think you really got to look at colleague. Um, not necessarily that they were so stellar last year or anything like that, but I thought that there was improvement and things were looking somewhat bright for the future. There was some stability there. And if you look at those guys right now, like it's a lot of nothingness, in my opinion. Daniel Hemrick has actually shone a little bit brighter than I thought he would. He's had some decent finishes. He's up. I actually think he's in the top 16 or top 20 in points. So he's doing better than I anticipated. But overall, the team as a whole has really not done anything to make much noise. I think they're probably my pick right now for being on the opposite end of that spectrum. But Spire was impressive. I'm pretty sure I might have picked Hocevar as my rookie of the year pick. Did I not?
I believe
Yep.
so, yep.
Yeah.
Which
3
you
races
reminded
in,
us
bud.
yesterday, I think.
What's that? Sorry. You say I reminded you of that yesterday?
Or Sunday, yeah. I guess yesterday. My days are all messed up already.
Yes. Sorry. It won't be yesterday when this is released, but
True.
but I might remind you again on Wednesday. You just never know.
So yeah, I'd go with front row for me. Like that team looked like they were really getting momentum. You had McDowell making the playoffs again. It just, yeah, they're off to a bad start this year, and I don't know if that'll get turned around or if it's just kind of a one and done sort of thing. And yeah, we'll see.
It's weird too.
Again, we're
because
3 races in, so it's too early.
I know, but
It
it's
is.
weird. They got that promotion to a tier 1 group, which of course you don't expect that to take hold overnight. But they also changed their technical alliance from RFK, who admittedly, from the looks of it, has struggled a little bit more so far this season than they would have at this point last year, over to Penske, who, let's be honest, is the defending, actually 2-time defending champion right now. They have not lost championship in this car. So it's, I don't know. I would have expected a little bit better results right now. So I think I could side with you on that one. But I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe it's just a learning curve from all that switching they've done. But
And anytime you go to Daytona with a V6, you're not going to do well. So
that could be a factor. All right. Well, do you guys want to jump over to the caution break segment?
let's do it.
All right. Donnie's been excited about this.
We're super
all day.
excited.
So this one, we're going to call it the team builder. So this one is something I've come up with myself. So forgive me if it feels
Just say that
bulky or
part
awkward.
again.
Yeah.
I want
Something I came up
the
with
listeners to know.
That's not to say I haven't taken inspiration from elsewhere, but I did come up with this myself, this format, to a degree. So forgive me if it feels bulky or awkward. Our first playthrough, bulky and awkward is kind of my go-to. It's how I live my life. Anyway,
Quarter mile
Marilee
at a
is
time. There's 10 minutes or less, you're free.
Marilee is going to control a spinning wheel on the producer side of it, so all 3 of us can have can compete together. The wheel has all of the 2024 full-time chartered teams on it. As the wheel spins and selects a team, you will have to pick a specific piece of that team to add to your team. You'll need to choose a pit crew, a crew chief, a driver, and a manufacturer. One side note I will mention is that their pit crew stats are from 2023. So if you only have pit crew left and you spin a team that's no longer chartered, you're going to respin. And as a team gets picked, it gets removed from the list. So there will be no duplicates. So here's how the points are going to be decided and tallied. Manufacturer is going to be decided. The points they get is the wins divided by the years that they've been in Cup, and then times it by 10.
Oh, this is math.
Well, you don't have to do the math. Don't worry about it.
I wasn't going
And you're
to.
going to take the square root of Dale Earnhardt, and you're going to multiply that by Ricky Rudd.
When you pick your driver, you're going to score points based on how many championships and wins they have. Championships are worth 10 points each. Race wins are worth 2. With crew chiefs, championships, same thing. Championships and race wins. Championships will be worth 10 points. Race wins worth 5. And your pit crew, we are going to take their 2023 rank and subtract that from the beginning total of 37 points. So you're going to max out at 36 points for crew chief. Fair enough?
Clear as mud. What if we know absolutely nothing about the driver? Do we get any, like, are we allowed to ask questions about him?
Sure. But Donnie, I don't have to give you factual information.
Fair enough.
Alex
I'll ask the
Bowman, yeah, he's
producer.
excellent, Corey. Yeah, you'll want to take him for sure.
Take who? Who'd you say?
Alex Bowman.
Oh, yes.
Actually, I'm really optimistic I can pick Cody Ware. So
Oh, man.
there's that.
Well, my luck has
Alright.
been miserable, so let's spin this thing, see if I get...
Well, actually, it's not all bad because I spun the wheel last night to pick between which one of you two got to go first, and it's actually you. So,
I don't know if this is an advantage or not.
it can't be too bad. You get to pick from all 40 or all 36. All right, Mary Lee, why don't you spin that wheel for Coco?
Let's go BJ McLeod.
Big money, big money.
Big
BJ
money.
McLeod's not a 2024 charter.
Oh, well, I'd probably pick him anyways.
Off to a bad
My
start,
luck,
Coco.
yeah. Off to a bad start. Oh, man, this wheel takes a long time.
The wheel is not fast.
It's not. I can't even see.
Ooh, the 31 of Daniel Hemrick.
He wasn't even full time last year.
See what I'm saying?
No, it's all current except for the pit crew. Only the pit
Oh,
crew is from
gosh.
last year.
Of course, that makes sense. Why would we have it all the same?
Well, because we don't have average rank. We don't have a rank from 2024.
The drivers are from 94.
Let me do a
Corey,
quick
who you-
Google search. Now let's go manufacturer.
Manufacturer going to take Chevy.
Yep.
All right.
Smart.
So Corey. Oh, I suppose it helps if I'm in there.
I honestly didn't know what he drove, but I was like, well, let's go for it.
How bad can it be? All right, Marilyn, spin for Donnie. Do 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 do.
Glad I didn't go first.
Here comes the Kyle Busch or something. Brad Keselowski.
Ooh, Brad K.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Right, he's in a slump. I don't really want to take him as a driver, but he does have a championship. I don't want the manufacturer. I don't know how his pit crew did last year. I don't think they were horrible. I'll go pit crew.
You're gonna go pit crew for Keselowski.
Yeah.
All right, Marilyn, spin the wheel for me.
Is Marilee or Vanna White or what?
Yeah.
There's resemblance.
Instead of Vanna White, she's White Van.
Way to ruin Vanna White for me, Corey.
I'm sorry, bud.
All right,
She's
who do I
old now.
got? Who do I got? Somebody good? Somebody good?
This is rigged if he gets a good pick.
Donnie had a good pick.
Ross
Ross
Chastain.
Chastain. Ross doesn't have a lot of wins and no championships, so I don't want to take him. Who's his crew chief right now? Is it Matt McCall still? You know what? I'm gonna go the easy way, and I'm gonna take manufacturer.
Smart. Max points.
All right, Corey's up next, Marilee.
Here we go. The anticipation is killing me here.
Might as well start spinning when Corey gives his answer.
Yeah.
That we only
I
have
know.
9 minutes to wait.
See why it is so slow.
Oh, man.
Because it was the first
Brad
time it
K's
came up.
pit stop would be done by now.
Who is this? Joey
Oh.
Logano. See, I don't know anything really about him.
He's not that good.
Well, I know how many points he's got for wins, so
Oh man,
Oh.
he's got a great pit crew though.
It's literally the example, I guess. But
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go driver. I'll take Joey.
Oh, frick.
that does
That's
suck.
smart.
It's He's one of
2
only 2
championships.
multi-champions.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Corey's just gonna go down the list. He did manufacturer, driver.
Yeah.
Next is crew chief.
Could be big money, blue, green. Ooh,
Oh, come on.
Your favorite.
Kill.
Kill.
Oh, we're not playing that game. Shoot. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? All right, what do I have to choose from again?
you got
You
manufacturer,
have
driver, crew
manufacturer,
chief.
driver, and crew chief left.
Crew chief.
Crew chief?
Crew
Who's his
chief.
crew chief?
I don't know, but I
Oh,
know he's
Jeremy
gonna be better
Bowen.
than what he is. Because I'm holding out for
He
Toyota.
wants a
Merely asked why I wouldn't do the manufacturer.
All right, so Jeremy Bullins. Okay.
Owens, never heard of him. Sorry, Jeremy.
Oh yeah, spin for me. Spin for me. Let's go. Let's go. Big money. Big money. Big money.
Young Money. Kyle
Young
Larson.
money.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come
Can
on.
you
come on,
guys?
come
Can
on.
we? Once someone gets picked, they're off the board. Then
Ooh,
Kaz
yeah.
Gralla.
Oh my lord.
That's rough. I
That's
thought
Rick
Harrison
Ware,
Burton was
man.
bad.
That sucks.
Has he raced
Oh
yet?
man. Yeah. He raced last week. I'm just gonna bite the bullet and go pick crew. Oh,
All right.
it does.
All right,
Corey's up.
spin for me. Let's go, Marilee.
Let me tell you right now, the number 15 Rick Ware car probably not highly ranked on the pit crew standings.
Oh man.
Like Corey's got Chevy as a manufacturer, Joey Logano as a driver.
Don't jinx me. Michael McDowell. Ugh.
Bro, you couldn't lose now, I don't think.
Let's go pit crew.
All right. All right. Let's go for Donnie Merrily. Good news is we only have to wait for this
JJ
wheel
Ely.
another 20 minutes over the next 4 picks.
Good thing you guys weren't actually in Vegas because you'd be losing money right now.
Slowest blackjack wheel ever. Or roulette. Sorry, not blackjack.
Blackjack wheel.
Blackjack wheel.
Evan goes to Vegas and plays Go Fish.
Noah Gragson.
Oh,
Hit me
come
on black, please.
I say one nice thing about him and then
You're right.
all right, well, what do I got left? Just manufacturer and driver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta go
And he's got no
manufacturer
wins or
then.
championships, so yeah.
Right.
What's ironic is your manufacturer's Ford, you've got a Ford crew chief, and you've got a Ford pit crew. Spin for me,
Yeah.
Merrily. And thankfully, none of you guys can see the webcam that we can see.
But for $8.99 and an OnlyFans subscription, you can see what we see.
Chase Briscoe.
Ooh, Chase Briscoe. Who's his crew chief right now? Billy Scott? I think. I think I pretty much have to go with crew chief, I guess. Yeah.
Start spinning.
Yep, spin for me. Let's see who my crew chief is.
Oh, his crew chief is Richard Boswell. I'm gonna pretend I know who that is.
Go Larson or Byron. Not Truex. I don't want James Small. Oh yeah.
Oh,
My lord.
Let's go,
Come
Cliff
on.
Daniels.
I don't think he's beatable.
Oh man. Pretty
Yeah,
much,
except
eh?
McDowell.
Yeah.
Kind of pointless, Donnie,
This is
but
my
here we go.
Is that
Maybe
it?
he'll
This
get
is my
Kyle
driver?
Busch. A lot of wins, doesn't he?
Pretty sure I'm taking Richard Petty for my driver. Okay,
Oh,
Bailey.
man. I can't
Final
make
spin.
picks, but I can win this.
Donnie's literally been left speechless.
I'm just gonna say this proves I have zero luck, so my
Oh,
picks are just all knowledge and expertise.
Oh, please be Truex, not Stenhouse.
Who's Junior?
Right? What a guy.
What?
What a
Retired.
guy.
Well, there should be two. There should be Martin Truex, and there should be. Okay, don't
That's
remove it.
definitely Ricky.
No, hang on, don't remove it.
So I didn't even have a shot at picking my favorite driver.
Martin Truex is up there, though. He's on the list.
Right.
So that must be Ricky. No, Ricky
No,
Stenhouse
Ricky's
on
down there too.
Yeah, I think so. So you get no points. Sorry, bud. Your drivers.
Then again,
Oh, man.
Man. Brings up the whole if you're not cheating, you're not trying, I guess.
not only that, like we complained about how long this took, and yet I somehow managed to find a way to do it twice.
That was Kyle Busch Jr. That's what he's gonna say.
Yeah. I think KB does have the most wins in the field right now, doesn't he?
Ricky Stenhouse.
All right. Well, as disappointing as this has been for Donnie and I
love it.
let's head over to our red flag segment while I tally up the points, and then we'll come back. We'll come back with the results. By now, you've probably noticed there are a few things different about the podcast this season.
Mara Lee has stepped into the producer role.
Believe it or not, Evan actually told me he's going to try and make decent picks this year.
Okay, both of those are true. Yes. However, I'm talking about how we've stepped up our game from a quality perspective. During the off season, we were able to pick up some new audio equipment from the great people at Vince's Opry Music Store.
These Rode Pod mics are great, and I challenge you to go listen to an episode from last year and hear the difference these microphones are making to our podcast.
And Vince and his staff were so helpful to all of us. I mean, even though we didn't really give them that much time.
It's true. I've been a customer of Vince's Opry Music Store since I was in high school, and they have always treated me like their number one client. Even though in the early years, I was usually just there killing time instead of returning to work.
So I guess not everything's changed then for this year.
Listen, we have racing to discuss, but if you are in the market for new recording gear or musical instruments, then please reach out to our friends at the greatest independent music store in Atlantic Canada, Vince's Opry Music Store.
I'm calling them right now.
I am the champion.
As suspected. Korey has
Especially
won
since we
this.
changed the rules. up.
Everybody was on their edge of their seats, and here are the results.
Yeah. Everyone fast forwarded the commercial and everything else. Korey has 303 points. Donnie follows that up with 151, so half. And I had a measly 124 points. So last time we played this game, I'll tell you that.
Oh, come on.
I sure hope so.
At least with that slow of a wheel.
The only thing slower than the wheels is you.
We should have had Chris Butcher's spinning wheel, because then at least like left and went ahead of him.
All right, take me off my high here. Let's talk about picks.
Yeah, Donnie, let's get into next week.
All right. So this is, I guess, the first time we've, driven at a non-drafting speedway. So we kind of got a better look at how the Fords and Toyotas are shaping up. What do you think that means for Phoenix? You think they'll be competitive, or you think we're going to see more Chevy dominance?
Go ahead, Korey.
I can't say anything until the picks are done. I don't want to influence your guys' picks. So
Trust me, pal, you're not going to influence who we pick. Neither me nor Evan is thinking, man, I wonder what Corey's thinking this week.
It's funny because last week Donnie said that same thing to me.
Kyle
He's
Busch
so
could only
wishy-washy.
pit in his pit box. Be great right now, but
Actually, yeah, because he was fast.
he was doing pretty good there.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to beat Larson, but I thought I had a second pick. But
I will say I don't find that this is a particularly aero-dependent track, so I don't think much has changed for Ford since last year in regards to Phoenix. So I think we'll pretty much see out of them what we saw in the fall, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
Resulted in a championship
for Ford. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not bad. So yes, that's saying all that. Blaney finished second in the spring and then again in November. Byron won in the spring and then finished fourth when it matters most. So I guess all
How
that
did your boy
being
Bell
said,
finish?
yeah, I mean he had a horrible day. I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah. Come on, let me get my thoughts here. All right. So is it good just to be consistent? Like, is there that pressure that, hey, we have to win here or we have to have it all figured out? Or do you think maybe you go a different strategy and say, hey, let's put our guy a little bit back in traffic, see how he does, see how the car handles, see what setup we have? Do you experiment with things? And I hate to even give that idea to James Small, but
I mean,
what are
I
you
would
guys thinking?
experiment, especially for the guys who've already won, like Larson and Byron. Like they're in the playoffs now, so they're not necessarily needing the win, right? So
yeah, I think I'll go at it from a different perspective. I think I would want to go here and dominate, and then when I get to the final four in the fall, everyone's like, the guy destroyed the competition here, hands-on favorite, be in everyone else's head.
But didn't Byron do that last year?
Exactly. That was the story with Byron.
Sure, but just because he didn't pull it off doesn't mean that I wouldn't want to be in that same position.
I don't know. I think I just blew your argument out of the water. So,
I mean, that was kind of my next question was, do you think winning in Phoenix can hurt your chances? You're resting too much on your laurels. And is that what we saw with Byron?
I really only know the one laurel, and I don't really rest on her a whole lot. Great friend, but so their husband.
oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they just missed it. They were fast in the early part of that day. I just think they didn't keep up with the adjustments like they should have, and it kind of came back to bite them. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a great performance out of Byron this week.
Okay. What about you, Corey? You think they winning here hurts you this early in the season? Like when you think you got the right setup, are you
I don't think
blind to make those adjustments?
I think winning is always good. Win's a win, right? So
winning's always good.
All right. So speaking of winning, then we keep talking about Blaney winning the championship. It was actually Ross Chastain, first time winning the championship. 4 drivers did not win in Phoenix. Ross won it last year. Do we think he can do it again this year? And if so, does that really make him a favorite going forward if he can find his way through the playoffs?
I'd like to hold my comment till after the picks are done, please.
I don't think Ross is like particularly consistent anywhere. Like he shows up and when he has speed, he's fast. And when I don't find he's ever dependent on
I think he's consistently miserable to drive around.
Yeah, probably. I guess what I'm saying is like when he's got speed, he capitalizes on it, and when he doesn't, he causes some cautions to to make up for it, I guess.
What I like about Ross, though, he's willing to try anything to win. So I mean, like you can never count the guy out, but at the same time, well, it might not work, and he finishes 36th. So I mean, he's a Definitely
I
like a time bomb.
don't think anyone's ever going to beat Ross just because they want it more than him. Does that make sense? Like they may have a
Yeah.
better car, they may have a better pit stop, but I don't think it's going to be like, oh yeah, he just wanted it more today. I don't think that'll ever be the case with Ross.
All right. You guys think there's any pressure to get things done? Like where this is our championship race in November? Does that make this one more of a pressure cooker? Or is this just take it like any other Sunday?
I think it does for like Ford and Toyota, especially right now, just because they do have some new things there to figure out. Chevrolet, we really haven't seen many changes with their cars since the next gen came out. So what they've got, they kind of know and they're familiar with. And as much as it's not an overly aerodynamic track, you still want to have everything firing on all cylinders. Not a Michael McDowell pun, but nonetheless, you want to have everything firing on all cylinders when you do get there to Phoenix in the fall. So I think I think Ford and Toyota are going to be on their game this weekend, doing everything they can to learn and figure and understand.
Will the track even be the same in the fall though? Like, wouldn't the like weather, heat, and stuff like that be totally
No, I think
different?
they move it to Connecticut in the fall. So yeah, totally different track.
No, but like, is there much difference? I wonder between like
I mean,
Yeah,
there could be
definitely.
time of
difference.
year.
Yeah.
But at the same point, like these teams kind of they know how to compensate for weather to a large degree, right? Like they know that when the track gets hot, it's going to react. The car is going to start reacting this way, right? It might get, depending on the track, it might get slicker or it might get a little more traction, depending on. And you kind of build accordingly. I would
Maybe your
imagine in
brakes will
November,
heat up a little more than other drivers.
Mm.
Maybe they won't.
maybe. But I would actually think that like March and November could be fairly similar as opposed to having like an August race and a November race, right? I
Mm.
think we're a lot closer in those parameters than we might be if the situation was different.
Yeah. All right. So you already brought him up, Evan. Christopher Bell. I got to figure they got this one circled for redemption on the calendar. He's the only driver right now in the current field that has made it to back-to-back championship fours. And unfortunately, just last November, brake failure took him into the running, or he finished last. So do you think there's a lot more pressure on Christopher to do well here? His mindset, his team, like, do you think they really need redemption now? Yeah, we'll start with that.
I think the team probably has more pressure on them than he does. I don't think this was a Christopher Bell issue. I think it was a mechanical failure, and that's not on the driver to fix. That's not on the driver to take responsibility for. I mean, don't get me wrong. He may have been able to drive it a little bit differently and cool the brakes or whatever, but they never should have been in a situation where they could have gotten that hot
Yeah.
with the setup and whatnot dialed in differently. So I don't think Christopher Bell has a lot of pressure on him right now. That's not to say he doesn't want to go back here and get this win and set himself up a little better for the fall. But I don't think if he's feeling pressure or anything from the fall, I think it's poorly placed.
I think Toyota as a whole might have some pressure on them because to me they're the worst of the three manufacturers right now starting the year. That's just what I'm seeing. I don't know. Maybe Donnie's giving me a look, but I have not been
I mean,
impressed
who
with
won
any of them.
second last week? Tyler Reddick. Who won the
I know,
duels
but
at
like
Daytona?
they're like
Toyota.
it's
Like,
I don't know. They just haven't been up front as much as I've seen them last year. So I don't know. Like
Interesting, because
I
I was
haven't
sitting
seen
here.
Denny up front as much or Truex. I mean, I know they're there, but they're not like making moves to like.
I mean,
That's
true.
interesting to me
We're
because
on
I'm
two
sitting here
super
thinking,
speedway tracks where he's never won
Hey,
once.
this is just my observation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
it's crazy to me because I'm sitting here thinking about how poorly Ford has been running.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking
That's
they were
kind
the
of what
worst.
I'm at.
Blaney's been there every race. Like Joey Logano, yes, he sucked at the end of it, but like he's been on the pole every race pretty much. So is Michael McDowell. Like they have speed. I just haven't seen Toyota have much speed.
So Michael McDowell's doing good, but Toyota's
No, but
just
like
not there.
they like he's actually accomplished something, is what I'm saying so far this year on like Toyota. Like what have
Okay.
they accomplished?
To be fair, qualifying speed is completely irrelevant to
I
how you
get
race.
that. I get that.
Yeah.
But at least it's something
dual
Ford has been
wins.
doing good at. Like Toyota just seems to be mediocre to me. I don't know.
All right.
We'll see.
So do you think
Interesting.
Bell can get it done? Okay, then let's ask. I'm just going to throw one more question out that isn't on it. Who do you think gets a win first, Toyota or Ford, Corey?
I don't want to, I think Ford. I think
Ford?
Ford's got
Okay.
a better chance this week.
Sounds good. Well,
I think so too.
do you? You're going Ford.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I think Ford has a better chance this week. I think when you get to mile and a halves and stuff, I
Mhm.
think Ford's a little behind. But I think it's an aero thing. I don't think it's a handling thing. I don't think it's a horsepower thing. I literally think it comes down to aerodynamics, and they just aren't as big of a fact. Like I think it's something you can overcome with the other two a little bit more than you can overcome at mile and a half.
Okay. Well, let's do picks. Let's talk first about last week. It was Las
now I'm going to
Vegas.
get hammered now.
I
just
don't,
Toyota.
man. I can't even swing the hammer this week. I went big. I tried to gamble and I went bust. I picked Alex Bowman for the second time this season, and much like his fandom, was disappointed once again. So Bowman finished a solid 18th for him. I will say, me picking him probably saved him from a 28th spot. But yeah, I'm guessing I must have finished worse than. Oh no, that is right, Corey. Somehow you picked Kyle Busch and finished 26. Like, wow.
They just need to make that pit box just like an inch longer. According to his wife, something else too.
Yeah.
He was trying to prove that he didn't need them.
Yeah. I got your extra inch right here. And Evan, congrats, buddy. 2 points.
Boom!
First
Thank
winner
you.
of
It
the
was a
year.
sure thing. Let's be
Thank
honest.
you.
Yeah, it really was.
I couldn't believe he
that's
was
probably
left on
the only
table.
sure thing in Vegas is Byron or Larson winning.
I just
And we didn't talk about poor Byron either. That was what bad luck, getting a whole trash bag in the front of your car.
yeah, and that like I've seen debris before, but not like debris. That wasn't
that other
debris. That was
trash bag,
debris.
the 48 car, that was a mess.
The other trash.
Luckily, he didn't get in anybody's grill for once.
So does that mean
Corey,
I get
you got
first?
1 point. Well, we'll get there. We're just filling in the points now. Corey's got a point. I got 2. Evan's got 2, which actually makes him first place because he picked a winner. So tie break. Start it from the bottom. Now he's here. Who do you got this week, Evan?
I am gonna swing for the fences again. Ryan Blaney.
No surprise.
Whoa. The shot heard around the world.
All just shocked.
Oh man. Well,
that's why I was so surprised you took him at Atlanta. I mean, don't get me wrong, he got you a point, but
I mean,
I was
finished second here, so he finished second for me in Atlanta.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I gotta go with
Austin Dillon.
Did I write that in?
No.
Of course I didn't. Don't be so stupid. Chase Briscoe.
Ooh.
Oh man, that's who I was gonna take.
Is it?
Yeah, I was gonna take Briscoe, yep.
Yeah.
I knew Evan was going for the fences, so I was like, well,
that's it. Like it's Blaney. And I mean, yeah.
All right, well, then I gotta go with the watermelon man, Ross Chastain. He won last year. He can do it again.
I don't think he's ever
you really wanted Briscoe.
I did. Well, just because I knew Evan was going to take Blaney, I figured you were going to take Chastain, to be honest. I was like, well, I don't want to use Byron against Blaney. And
not really hard about Byron, actually. But we'll see. I'm excited. It's going to be a good race.
But Briscoe runs well here. He's got a win, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does have one.
He's got a win here. He does good in the spring. Yeah. He's not great in the fall, but I figure like you said, we all knew Evan was taking Blaney. So
Yeah.
I mean, do you really want to throw points away and lose a guy like Kyle Busch, or
Mhm,
get
exactly.
nothing? Like, you got to use some brains here.
Yeah.
Can't afford to be doing that. You know what I mean? Well,
Honestly,
I
I
guess you
think
don't
the
know
worst
what I
Why
mean,
didn't you
but
why didn't you pick a Toyota this week?
I think
again,
the worst thing ever
Do you not
that we've
believe in
ever
them
done,
there, Donnie?
the worst thing we've ever done on this podcast is letting Donnie be the host of this segment.
well, I mean, that just comes with winning a championship. But if you don't like it, win this year and take it from me. It's all yours if you win the points.
So far, so good.
Come and take it.
All right, Donnie.
Oh, am I doing the outro?
It says Donatello to do outro. Yeah.
Sorry, Mikey. All right. Well, I'd like to apologize to my fans for letting them down with my pick. Obviously, you can't expect to pick a driver with zero talent and be rewarded. And I've learned my lesson, and I will not do that again. I got nothing, guys. I'm disappointed I got to go with Chase Briscoe. Honestly, my whole points thing right now, this new format has me in shambles, and I just was not prepared.
Who did you
So-
want? Did you actually not want him?
Oh no, I would love to have taken Blaney.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If I could do it again. Can I take Suarez for Atlanta and take Blaney for here? Is that an option?
No.
No,
No? Okay.
no
Gotta
mulligans.
shoot your shot.
I'd let you switch Bowman to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Someone want to jump in and take this from me? Because like I said, I'm spiraling. I'm not okay,
Just-
boys.
Just like
you want-
Toyota going down.
All right, I'll take us out of here. Does that sound fair?
I'm just gonna say this: Tyler Reddick's gonna win this week.
I
Toyota's
thought
gonna
hard
get
about
their
him
win.
too. Yeah,
So-
I actually was gonna.
I'm not picking him because I got him earmarked from somewhere else, but Tyler Reddick's winning Phoenix. So don't
Well,
take
let me tell you
Briscoe,
this.
fans.
Let me tell you this. I've actually got something that is a sure thing. Okay, that we can do. If you hear the sirens behind me, they're not coming for me.
They're
But
coming for
next
the
week
little
we've
boy in your
actually-
closet.
Donnie, we can't post it. Come on. Just so we're clear, that's totally getting posted. Next week we actually have our first guest segment of the year. We have Mr. Cole Butcher coming on the show. Maritime born and proud, and doing some big things on the short track circuit in the States. Really excited to have him on. Looking forward to that. We've got another guest segment coming up at the beginning of April that you should all be excited about. We'll get you geared up for that as well. But in the meantime, if you want to be kept in the loop, always sign up to all of our socials. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify or wherever you listen, or over on YouTube. You can watch us over there as well. Thank you so much for being here. Love you guys. We'll see you soon.
We out.
Love ya.
Yeah, why not?